throughout the pandemic, I've been seeing that, a lot of youth have been like living on the internet for the most part. And we have to reset and reground the youth as we're trying to get them to also create during these moments, right? It's like, oh yeah, the world's kind of falling apart, but let's build this thing, right? And some youth may be down, some youth may not even be as focused. So I created this activity. Well, it's like a metaphorical exercise called LA to New York, right? So this is called LA to New York. And what LA to New York is really a narrative template to which youth or people can apply themselves to as a way to kind of unblur life, reground what their whys are, and just basically remind themselves of their purpose and goals and things like that. One day you wake up, you're living in California, the rent is expensive, but it's okay. You're living in California and you wake up and you just hear this loud voice and it says, go to New York. And you're like, what? And it's like, actually walk to New York since you're asking questions. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna walk to New York. So you go outside, and when you look at the East Coast from the West Coast, you see these 5 really, really tall things. And these are the reasons we'll say why you're a teaching artist, right? And in this journey, it's going to be your walk to becoming a successful teaching artist and doing all the things you want to do. So normally, as people start to walk from California to New York, they start to notice by the time they get to Nevada that they were not meant to walk to New York. That is not something that I was prepared to do. But when you turn back around and you look at LA, there's also 1 to 2 very tall things that are reminding you that you should walk to New York. And what are those things? When you turn around, you also see these tall things back at home. And they're the reason you don't turn back. So then you begin to walk. Now you're walking through the Southwest. And in the Southwest, you didn't notice, but there's a lot of animals in the Southwest. You got little cougars and rattlesnakes and poisonous frogs. I don't know. There's all these things that are in the middle kind of Western area. And these things are they basically stop you. Like if a mountain lion is in the way of a tunnel that you need to go through, looks like you're a climber because you're not going through that tunnel. So what are 1 or 2 of these metaphorical things that have gotten in your way in this process? But given that mama didn't raise no fool, so you knew when you left that you needed something to protect yourself. So before you left, you put a machete in your bag. You put, I don't know, a shotgun in your bag. One of these things, slingshot. You put a slingshot in your bag. What are those weapons that you bring with you when you go on these journeys? It could be support from your family. It could be your faith. It could be, what are 1 or 2 things that you packed with you for the animals, for the things that are trying to stop you, that are trying to slow down your progression? Usually when you walk through like the Great Plains, you walk through like tall grass, you run into these things called, have anybody ever heard of a stick-a-bug? We call them stick-a-bugs. Stick-a-bugs are these little sharp little things that come off of plants and they stick on the things to travel. And you look down at your shoestrings, there's all these little sticky things on your shoestrings. You got to take them off and throw them away. What are some of the things that have attached to you through this process that you didn't bring with you? You didn't expect them to be on you, but now that you're walking up to New York, what are the sandburrs that have connected to you through this process that you are realizing you got to throw off your shoes? The one thing that would happen right after this, I normally have like the youth or the person read that story back to me as a story. So when they bring up the animals, they're like, and then doubt came up rattling on me or whatever, right? Like these, like having weird friends stuck to my shoes and I had to get rid of those. But being able to step back and contextualize your own story will start to unblur a lot of the rat race and the quickness and the stress of this journey. I've done it with college students, I've done it with preteens, teens, and a lot of it is just to remind them of who they are, why they are where they are, and the fact that they have all the things they need to continue.